10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Cole Show on the Blue&Black Attack podcast. I am Cole. I am here with my boys Pickle and Deeze. Tonight we're going to talk about some coaching situations, rumors, and whatnot, and then we are going to have a little fun and celebrate our season. We're going to do a little mini award show and talk about what we got going on. Deeze, we'll start with you. How you doing, my friend?
Doing fantastic, Cole. Really excited about this award show. I haven't got to be a part of one of these. I want to thank you for hosting this and letting me be a part and pick out and give some awards to some of these Panthers players. Man, they played great this year. Thanks for having me, Cole.
Yes, they did. I promise we will do this the week after our season ends as long as we're doing this. Panther Pickle, how are you today, my friend? Go ahead and do your intro, and then let's get into this coaching news.
Wonderful, folks. Wonderful. Welcome to the Blue&Black Attack podcast. The Cole Show is here.
Yes, sir. What you think about these coaches, bud?
Oh, I tell you what. I tell you what, my friend. One that boggles my brain cells, and maybe I don't have a whole lot of brain cells. Maybe that's why it bothers me. But can folks just leave poor old Mike Tomlin alone? The man told the team he's been with for 19 years that he wants to take a year off, likely to spend with his family. And y'all keep wanting him to take this job and take that job. If he wanted to take another job, he would have told the Steelers owner, no, I want to go somewhere else. It's too cold up here. It hurts my old bones. Trade me. But he didn't say that. He said, I'm taking a year off. And so far, from my understanding, he's turned down 2 different teams who calls him. He won't even talk to these other teams. Slow your roll on that man. Let him rest a little while.
Can't blame him for wanting to take a break. It's been a long time for Tomlin.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, so many Giant fans are overhyped about Harbaugh, in my opinion. And John Harbaugh, the great John Harbaugh. Y'all chill out. That man's won 1 Super Bowl in his entire career as a head coach.
Fell into that one.
Fuck out. I mean, really, let's just chill out. You know, and I mean, listen, and I respect him and everything, but y'all got to understand he's bringing in his offensive coordinator, and he has to hire a defensive coordinator. It ain't like Monken leads that offense to the Super Bowl. He ain't going to go be a head coach somewhere else. Then it's going to be up to John to find another one. So let's slow your roll before we award that man the greatest coach to ever walk the planet.
I'm sure he got a fat contract, too. I didn't even look at the number, but he got served up for 5 years.
I'm sure he does.
Deeze, let me ask you this, my friend. We've heard rumors in the air, and I'm sure some of them are public by now. Avero's going to take 3 interviews. We talked about it. The agreement was it was Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the Raiders. Is that the 3?
Yes, that's right.
How you feel? How do y'all feel about that? And do you see a world where he is not our defensive coordinator next year?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, he had 5 head coaching interviews 2 years ago. Last year he had 3. This year he's got 3. They consistently interview Avero. Avero's a stand-up guy. I mean, he really is. He talks well, and he looks like a credible head coach. If you look at what he did here through the course of 1 season with the talent that the Panthers gave him, is pretty impressive. I got to be honest. And if a team wanted to pick him up, and they very well might, yeah, I can see him leaving. You know, I just don't want him to go to Atlanta in particular because he knows the ins and outs of this team so well.
Exactly.
If he goes to the Raiders or the Pittsburgh, you know, I'm 100% fine with it. Welcome, Jay.
Pick, how you feel about that?
I'm all right. You know, I'm okay. I'm all right. I really hope. Oh hell, I'm gonna be honest, Cole. I hope he goes. I hope he goes somewhere else. I don't want him to go to Atlanta, but at the same time, I don't really scare. His defense don't scare the bejesus out of me. Let his ass go to fucking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if he went there, he'll probably win Super Bowl because that's just how my luck goes. So I don't want to go Atlanta, period. But you know what? The Raiders, and I'll be real about it. not the Raiders. The Steelers are looking for a head coach, and in like 2 decades, they've only hired like one head coach. I mean, they keep that head coach for bejesus forever. And traditionally they've hired a young defensive coordinator that when he gets hired, people are saying, "Oh wow, yeah, yeah," or it's like, "Who the hell is that?" And they hired Mike Tomlin. I'm like, "Who the fuck's Mike Tomlin?" And I had to look it up.
Exactly.
So, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. I would like to see Evero go to the Steelers or the Raiders. Is my preference
Mm,
this year, as a matter of fact.
mm.
But
Deez,
hey,
where do you think he ends up ultimately? Where do y'all think he ultimately ends up at? It's
back in
just a guess.
Carolina back
Yeah,
in
I
Carolina
do too.
on there.
I do
Who
too.
knows what the Raiders are going to do? That's a
That's true
wild
too.
card.
They are a wild card.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
could
doubt
see
about
the.
that
I
whatsoever.
think it's probably more likely that the Raiders would hire Avero than the Steelers, if I was to guess, just to take a shot and guess. That's what I would guess. So more than likely, like Pickle said, he'll be back here next
I
year.
think so too.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
this is the same amount of. He had that horrible year last year and had the same amount of head coaching interviews, 3. And
very
it's the
true.
same thing this year. If he had 5 or if he had 7, I'd feel like it was more likely. But what is in his favor of leaving, I guess, Cole, if you want to
Mhm.
work on this point, is the fact that there was 8 openings. Now there's 7, I'm assuming, but with Harbaugh being filled, but there's
That's a
more
nice
openings this
number.
year.
That's a
Yeah,
nice number for him to be out there in the market with. The snag one though. But there's only damn. I mean, I guess it's right on par. I would say maybe a couple more per year. I don't know what the average is. I used to keep up with it, but they're
Yeah,
dropping like flies
the
these days.
average is
They're
about
selling like
6 a
that.
year.
I figured it was right on top
Right.
of the 6 or 7.
Back in 2022, there were 10 head coaches fired,
Mm.
and and that was the highest until now. Of course, it was only 9. But um, Cole, which is the next team that fills their head coach opening, and with who?
Oh. Especially with Harbaugh going now, that's a tough call.
Let me help you. I think
I
the
think
Atlanta
Pittsburgh.
Falcons.
You think Atlanta? I think
Pittsburgh,
it's going to be Pittsburgh. I don't think
really?
Pittsburgh's going to mess around just because
Uh,
they've had they've only had
right.
4 or 5 coaches
Well,
in their
when they
entire rich tradition. They're not
right,
going to mess
which
around with that. They're going to go get their guy.
I'm going to tell you a little secret. Well, not a secret, just an old man that didn't remember shit.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to tell y'all, I didn't remember it. I heard it on XM Radio this morning. But
That's
anyway,
okay. You
uh,
remembered it.
still, I remembered it after they talked about it. How's that? Uh, but back when Tomlin was hired, before he was hired, Ken Wisenut was supposed to be the guy that was going to get the job,
Oh God,
and
he's
he
been
turned
fired in this
down
league before. I
he
remember
turned
him.
down the Atlanta Falcons.
He did. I didn't know that.
He turned down the Atlanta Falcons because he was waiting on the Steelers. He turned down another team. And eventually he ended up taking the Cardinals job because the Steelers couldn't make up their mind. And then they were possibly going to go to DC, but out of the blue, they went with Mike Tomlin. And a lot of people, and he was just the secondaries coach. I don't remember what team he was on, but he was the secondaries coach. Wasn't a defensive coordinator. He was just your secondaries coach. So, but he was one of the last spots filled. And the Steelers often take their slow time filling these positions up when they do rarely come open. They don't get in a hurry filling them. Um, that's why I believe, and they often go with the young guy nobody's heard of before. So to me, Rivero has a chance, but I'm going to say the team that gets filled up next is going to be the Tennessee Titans, and they're going to sign Savansky.
That wouldn't be a bad
I like
pairing.
that. I like that.
Right, but I think Savansky fits better with the Falcons
Sure.
just because of his connection with Cousins. But anyway.
They got some enticing things going on though with the Titans. I mean, they got the quarterback number 1 with Cam Ward, then they got the new stadium and all that. There's a lot of noise gonna be going around with them, so it might not be a
Right.
bad landing spot for him. We'll have to see. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's go ahead and get started on this award show. Let's have some fun. This is a night of reflection. It's just at the beginning of the year, I never thought I would be doing this as an NFC South champion, and I'm just so happy about that. I appreciate y'all being here for me. And first up, man, best offensive player. This one I went back and forth with, and there's definitely a few people that you could put up for a nomination, and I'm sure y'all might have different answers than me. But for a rookie top 10 wide receiver to come in here and break our record and shatter what Kelvin Benjamin did and have the impact he did despite a few drops, I'm going to have to go Nilo. He was big time for us. How do y'all feel about that? And who's your player best offensive?
Well, I mean, I guess just to go a different direction. I love your pick, by the way. Of course, I think, God, Nalu, that draft pick in our history is big. Like
Big.
that is huge. As many second round busts as we've had, and we look into our history and who our greatest wide receivers have been. You know, Steve Smith, a third round pick. Just, I mean, yeah, drafting Nalo at number 8 overall and him breaking every Panthers wide receiver rookie record. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. I love that award for him. But for me, just to go a different direction, I'll go Rico Dowdle. Those games that he strung together, 200 yards a pop, what an offensive explosion. I thought the old school 2003 Panthers were back. I thought we were ground and pound. I was looking for double trouble. I was just shaking my head, just ready for this Panthers running offense to explode, especially after that Miami game. Cole, I'm going to give it to Rico Dowdle. Pickle?
I'm not mad at it. I was right there with you. How you feel about it, Pickle?
I like to pick. Yeah, I like to pick a lot. I think that's the correct word.
Running a Rico on that one. All right, let's flip to the other side. Defensive. I'm going to have to go, and I'm a biased Panthers fan, obviously, with the best defensive tackle in the NFL, the man that controls the game in the interior of our defensive line. Derek Brown's our best defensive player this year, but we had some good candidates. Pickle, how you feel about that? And who's your player?
Yeah. And there's some core arguments that says Mike Jack could get it.
Yeah.
And it's odd for me to say Mike Jack. I feel like I'm betraying J.C. Horn when I say that. But Derek Brown is a good pick for that. He should have made it to the Pro Bowl. He's just a popularity contract, the All-Pro. He should have made it. He was robbed on both accounts. But it is what it is, I guess.
Deeze, how you feeling about it, buddy?
I got a couple. I'm gonna throw at you and throw at the chat as well. Let me go with the first one, the most obvious, right? J.C. Horn. He's the one that made the Pro Bowl. J.C. had 2 different games this year where he had multiple interceptions. Fantastic. Another breakout year, if you will, for J.C. Horn, even after making the Pro Bowl last year. 2 years in a row. He has to be the best defensive player on the field for the Carolina Panthers. But I've got another one. Our best free agent that we signed, Mo Rig. He had a great year, a fantastic year. We saw him run a Vero's scheme in ways that we haven't seen in the past 2 years. He made that defense look different when he was on the field. He worked out as a free agent. He was a guy that played with his hair on fire, whether he was rushing the quarterback or getting into the backfield and bringing down the running back. He played fantastic throughout the season and kind of a hybrid safety / linebacker role, something that we've been waiting to see Avero utilize for 2 years now, but this year he finally did it. Shout out Trevon Moore.
That was a perfect answer for that, and you just kind of soft toss it up for me for the next category, and that's going to be the biggest surprise. I actually went with Trayvon right here. I knew he would come in and make an impact, and I knew he had a willingness to come downfield and help in the run game, but he had laid some monster hits this year, likes to which that we hadn't seen in a long time, especially at our safety position. So the biggest surprise to me personally, player-wise, was Trayvon. Pickle, how do you feel about that? Who was your biggest surprise, sir?
My biggest surprise was Mike Jackson. A lot of people, I'll be honest with you, those who were not surprised was Jerry Vero, Dan Morgan, and Dave Canales. Fans were floored. And it was like, wow, look at him play. And he did an extremely good job. Fans should learn from that. And fans should understand that just because we watch football and we talk about it all the time, don't mean we know all we think we need to know.
Exactly. Deeze, how you feel, buddy?
Well, just to keep going in a different direction, just to add more to the
Good.
conversation. Oh God, I'm gonna go Nick Scorton on this one because Nick Scorton being a rookie, I didn't really expect a whole lot from him. And in Avero's scheme and the limited amount of rushing attempts and him dropping into coverage, I didn't expect a lot from him. But man, you talk about a motor. Nick Scorton has a motor like I haven't seen before. This guy, when you watch some of the game tape, there was some clips I saw earlier, and it was like, how many half sacks did he just get? Because I counted 9, and it's like the NFL only counted a couple half sacks, but to me, he kept being around that passer. He found a way to push his man into the passer. He caused pressure problems. He caused the pocket to collapse in, and we saw it in a lot of games. When the Panthers got sacks, we were getting it because the entire pocket collapsed. It wasn't just one man making it to the quarterback. It was several Panthers making it to the quarterback at the same time. And Nick Scorton was a big part of that with his motor and the heart he played with this season in his rookie year. Very promising for next year, Cole.
I feel like a very, very bright future for our young pass rusher, and that goes for Princely as well. I think going forward, they can be a formidable duo, and then potential competition coming in is what I was trying to say. It will really elevate those two young players and make them better going forward. Let's switch it up this time, Deez. I'm gonna let you lead off because I have a little bit different answer with this one. I don't think y'all have this one. Your breakout star for the Panthers this year. Who would you choose? And you can use the same player if you have to.
Who broke out? Dowdle, but he's probably not going to be here. Who else broke out? I would say it's going to be Nalo for me. Nalo broke out, showed
Fair.
the entire NFL with the opportunity to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Showed everyone in the NFL that he was not just ready to be a wide receiver in the NFL. He was ready to be a true X in the NFL. And considering he was the best Panthers wide receiver to ever do it, if anybody broke out, I'm going to say it was T-Mac. Shout out my boy Nalo with all those one-handed grabs in practice. We didn't get to see a bunch of them in the season. We got to see, I think, one that they didn't even call a catch. No, the second one. He caught 2 of them one-handed, and they didn't rule either one of them a catch. Ooh, that's a good one. I saw the chat. Good, that's a good one from the chat. I think we'll bring it up. Let's see here in a second. But I'm going to go with T-Mac or Nalo.
Pickle, where you at with it, my friend?
I'm going to – fact is, I'm going to agree with this gentleman right here. Coker.
That's a great answer.
Gotta be it. And you know what? It makes me throw this out back in the lap of David Canales. Bro, come on, man.
You got to get him the pill,
Why
baby.
did you do that in week earlier? Come on, man. Yeah, why didn't you do that earlier? Keep that.
I need to see a healthy dose of that next year. I think we're going to be into it. Okay. My answer is super weird. But my breakout star, honestly, and he's not a breakout here because we know what type of talent this man is. He is a star player. He is a Pro Bowler. But I think on a national scale around the league, people really got to see at times how great of a cornerback J.C. Horn is. I feel like just around, like I said, all 32 teams, and then you just hear on the radio and TV and things like that, JC is really becoming a great cornerback and probably top 5 in this league, honestly. If he continues to get better, I think he can get even higher than that. So I'm really proud of him. I think he had a great year and looking forward to him going forward.
If I can add on to that, just want to add on to that real quick. I think that, collectively, our cornerbacks showed the NFL that we're dangerous on the outside.
Oh, yes.
We're absolutely dangerous on the outside. It may change the way that we see this team attack next year. The teams may want to run the ball more on the Panthers next year because they're scared to throw the ball to the outside because we're apt to intercept it and possibly run it back. And with an improved secondary through free agency or the draft, teams may be really afraid to throw the ball on the Panthers. Great answer, Cole.
I'm not used to that whatsoever.
That reinforces the situation of the importance of getting better coverage linebackers on this team, because if we can shut down the middle and keep the outside shut down, it's going to force teams to run the football.
Coverage sacks, Pickle. I would love to
Yeah,
see those
that's what we need more of, coverage that.
get to the passer with 4 people if that's what it takes. Excuse me, sorry about that. Deez, you soft tossed it up to me, honestly, with this next category, because the next category is most improved, and I think that's Mike Jackson all day. He really was a star, especially on the national games. I think the league really got to see that his career is not over and that we got a steal getting him over here with us. And he was just as productive and if not better than JC was at sometimes. And that's not a knock on JC at all. That's just how much I believe JC has helped Mike Jackson elevate his game. I know they had the friendly competition on who was going to have more interceptions, and I feel like this was a great year for those guys. I feel like we had more interceptions from our cornerbacks than we've had in a long time. Who are y'all feeling for your most improved? How about you, Deez?
Let me go with the oddball here. I'm gonna surprise some people with this one. I'm gonna go with Tommy Tremble this year.
Not a bad
We
answer.
weren't 100% sure that Tommy Tremble was going to make the team. We had Mitchell, who was promising. We got Evans, who played well, and we drafted him. We thought that he might be the replacement for Tommy Tremble, but sure enough, Tommy got a contract and stayed here. And he played quite well this season, especially in terms of the blocking game and in the running game. He was very valuable and on the field often to contribute to that. And we had multiple games this year where we were absolutely dominant in the running game. And I'm going to attribute that in part to the blocking of Tommy Tremble and clearly a guy that Bryce Young trusts to get the football. He had
Pickle, that was a good answer.
multiple plays this season where he caught the ball and gained yak yardage, something that the Panthers kind of struggled in. So when we see a guy out there like Tommy fighting to get yards, that's a plus for the Panthers.
Blocking will keep you in this league, Panther Pickle. That was a good answer by Deez. How you feeling about it?
Cade Mays. Cade Mays
That's a
is, to
great answer.
me, is our most because he proved he can be a starting center in this league. Some folks, some free agents, experts, as they want to call themselves, they have him labeled as the second best center available in free agency. So,
Wow.
plus he gives you the ability to play either guard position as well. So,
might need to be something to look into. I don't want him leaving Charlotte. I'd like to see him extended. That's a good one. All right. The next one, I kind of mixed this together. I'm just going to call it the Clutch Award for the sake of the conversation, but I'm actually going to do a performer and a moment. Let's start with a moment first. I'm going to choose Rico's franchise record against Dallas when he had 239 yards from scrimmage, with 183 of those being rushing yards. Just a tremendous game from him. So that was my clutch moment of the year. And my clutch performer, honestly, I'm going to have to tell y'all right now, I think it's Fitzgerald with the kicks that he's made this year and put us over the top on a few of those games. We couldn't ask more out of our rookie kicker. So I think overall, the whole team, Ryan Fitzgerald's my clutch performer of the year. Pickle, how you feeling about it?
I agree. Actually, I actually widely agree. He was the clutch guy. Most of the time when you put him on that field, you could guarantee he was going to make that. And he did miss a few later in the year, but he's still a rookie, so you accept those. And he's only going to get better from here on out. And thank goodness we've got him on a 3-year deal.
We have our kicker. That's a really, really good feeling. Deeze, who would you say is yours, Bob?
Well, let me address that comment first. So he said Roseboom for much improved this year, and I agree with that, especially for a guy that was thrust into the lineup, a guy that wasn't expecting to start. The only reason he got the start was because the semi-retirement of Josie Jewell, right? So yeah, he had a great year. He led the Panthers in tackles. I feel that answer. I think that's good.
That's a good answer. I ain't mad at that.
Moving forward with this one though, most clutch. Oh, you know where I'm going. BY9 was the most clutch. That guy, I can't keep up because the stats keep changing. He had 12 come from behind or something victories since 2023, something like that. And
it's a ridiculous number. It's like every one of his wins almost.
It should be 11-6 with Canales in one-score games. I mean, if you talk about the clutch gene, that's Bryce Young. He had the clutch gene all year long to the point that we had that lead against the Rams twice in the fourth quarter, Cole. He won that game not once, but he won it twice. The defense, unfortunately, didn't feel the same way. He got a bad beat, great coverage by Morig, and touchdown for the Rams. But if anybody was clutch, it was BY9. Shout out Bryce Young.
Pickle and Deeze, it makes me kind of feel like a lazy fan, even though we watch and we studied this team like no other. But seeing Bryce Young elevate his game in the playoffs like that in the wild card round, it really made me open my eyes and more comfortable with us extending him and potentially being our franchise quarterback. Just want to throw that out there before we get to this next award. Because the next overall award,
I may
go
say
ahead.
my friend.
Go
Shout
ahead.
out to all 24 folks that are watching us
Shout out to
on
y'all.
YouTube and Twitter, or X, as you want to call it. If you don't hit that like, share, and subscribe, if you're on X, just shout us out and say appreciate it. Just shout us out, say you're stupid. Just keep down,
Anything.
y'all. We good.
Hey, and put your award winners in here. That's the main reason I wanted to do this
Yeah,
as well. I wanted to
that's
see
it.
what y'all had to say about that as well. All right, let's go with arguably my favorite award of the whole night. I'm going to go best overall story with this next one. And it's something that we've been waiting a long time for, and that's making the playoffs by way of winning the NFC South. And I did not think I was going to be able to say that to y'all week one starting the season, and couldn't be happier and more proud of our progress towards that. Deeze, how you feeling about that, my friend? What do you think the best overall story of this season was?
Well, I want to go Bryce, but I just answered Bryce, right? Because
No, you absolutely can.
We go from a guy that was benched to a guy that had the year he did, really proven to a lot of fans who he is, and to the franchise already receiving or about to receive the 5th-year option from the Panthers. That's where I would go. And another one I'm going to go to, just to bring up, so I'm not saying the same thing twice or the same person twice. I'm going to say Sam Martin,
Good.
man. What a feel-good story. An older punter we brought in. I believe he's from Appalachian. And like kind of like a local guy. He had a great year punting the football for us. Lord knows we punted plenty of times. We had up and down games each and every week out. We were up one week, down one week. We had a great week. We may not have a good week the next week. So Sam Martin was consistent all year long. Great punting from him. Didn't expect much from him. And now I'd like to see him resign, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go Sam Martin, the punter. Shout out him.
Special teams overall, I feel like was an uptick this year. Pickle, how you feeling about that? And who's your best overall story?
My best overall story is Dave Canales. He could have proved himself. If I could speak with him just a little bit, I'd say be you. If being a run first offense doesn't fit you, don't worry about that. Be you. If you would rather pass the ball, you have a great opportunity to go out and do that. Be you. If you can see Bryce leading this team as a more pass team than a running team, then be you. I think Bryce would enjoy passing the ball a lot more. The more he passes, the more better he gets, and the more of a rhythm he takes. But yeah, Canales has improved greatly, I think. He's learning as he's going, so he's getting better with certain things. And but you can't go wrong with the punter or even Bryce Young. You can't go wrong with those either.
Those are both really, really good stories. Let's get to the big one, man. I want to go last on this one. Pickle, I'll let you lead off with this one. Your most valuable player this season, who you got?
My most valuable player. Wow. T-Mac. Teterona McMillan. It has to be my MVP of this thing. I mean, you can easily say Bryce. That would be the easy answer. I would say T-Mac because I don't see how this team makes it to the playoffs without him.
Don't happen. Deeze Skills, my friend, where are you at with your MVP?
Pretty similar to what Pickle said. Bryce Young is the obvious answer, right? That's why he's getting a 5th-year option. But let me go Coker here, because Here's a guy who was a UDFA, a guy that doesn't have a long-term contract, a guy that needs to be signed by the Panthers. I think we said he was restricted rights or something like that, or some kind of classification of a restricted free agent. But that's why he's the most valuable. He's underpaid, underappreciated. We need to make him a part of this team, get him a good long-term contract. We saw him get an upgrade this year in his snap count. We saw him transform his body this year, and even Dan Morgan talked about that in his exit presser about how Coker came in to end the camp looking one way, but he finished the season looking like a stud, and you could see it on the field too when he was getting hyped and flexing up. I'm gonna go Coker most valuable player, not because of necessarily the stats themselves, all by themselves, but because of the transformation that he went through during the season and where he is now and what he means to this team going into 2026, Cole.
I'm with it. And y'all set this up perfectly because I am going to take the easy way out of this one. I am going to take our quarterback as our MVP. What really just sticks out in my mind most is his growth in the big games. I think he showed up a lot better. The San Francisco game was a catastrophe, and I didn't know if things were going to work out after that. But I saw a lot of things and growth in him. I know we keep saying it with Bryce and Canales, but we do see it. There is growth. I think if we can just get a few more explosive weapons on offense, especially with some speed in the backfield and at wide receiver, Bryce Young can take that next step, and we could potentially be talking about a top 10 quarterback and offense into this league. And that's just how I think about that, especially with, like I said, I can't emphasize enough those NFC games where we were beating Green Bay and Dallas and teams like that that make the playoffs perennially. Like we're right there toe to toe with all these teams, Pickle, and we're right here in the playoffs with the Rams slugging it out, and they're Super Bowl contenders, and we're in a rebuild, and we arguably should have won that game. So I think we're right there where we need to be, especially for this year. We just got to keep pushing forward, and there's no going back from here. How do y'all feel about it?
I have to 100% agree. I mean,
Right.
just it's amazing that we're in this situation, and a lot of it came right from Bryce Young's arm, you know. And a
Mhm.
lot of people have spent a whole lot of time hating on the guy since he come here 3 years ago, just to be in the playoffs year two of a rebuild. With we got one good wide receiver, and then a crew that we've patchworked together, and they're all young. None of them have much experience at all. You know, the guy that had experience hardly ever was never active. He played the first couple of games of the season, then the rest was just young guys all year. And David Moore only had a few weeks before he injured his elbow too. And people talk about Bryce Young, they don't talk about the crew behind him. You know, this is nothing but young guys really supporting him. And it's not, a lot of teams have a good veteran wide receiver, a guy that they can depend on and know will be open when they need him to be. That's not the Panthers. We're developing talent as we go. And I think this coaching staff did a great job, not only with just Bryce Young, but with the targets as well, developing them, growing them, making this a team that could hang in games. And that team that could set the franchise record for passing yards. 428 passing yards from Bryce Young. If you called that before this year started, shout out to
Man,
you. You have a crystal ball that you're looking into what's going to happen, along with Rico Dowdle breaking Christian McCaffrey's scrimmage yard records. Didn't have that one on the bingo chart neither. But this Panthers offense accomplished both those things this season. So we have to shout out Bryce Young. And like Pickle said in the last section, Dave Canales as well. Fantastic job all the way around.
perfect. Perfect. Boys, I'm gonna be honest. I wanted this one to be short and sweet. We got right after it. Very direct. I think we had some great conversations. I appreciate everybody that is watching right now. I appreciate everybody damn near even more that's watching tomorrow, whenever you are. Like Pickle said, just drop us a question. Just let us know you're here. Like, follow, subscribe, do everything that you need to do. This page is going to grow. It's already growing. Diesel Skills is working really, really hard with the graphics and videos we got going on right now. Pickle's working tremendously hard on his show. Deal with it. We got Brotherhood episodes. Jake does a good job helping us out. Like we really, really are pushing really hard. That's how I want to do. How do we do it last week? All right, Panther Pickle. I want you to lead us out this evening, but I want Diesel Skills to go first. How do you feel overall about what you
Let's
saw, where we've been? What you want to talk about before we go, Pickle? You got something
yeah,
else in mind?
let's talk about the head coach vacancies in the NFL.
Who you got?
We know that we have some of those that are available. You got the Browns that are available. We got if y'all want to catch up with news, hit us up. We'll tell you. We'll keep you updated.
Doesn't have to always be Panthers. You're right.
Right. We love to talk other sports, other areas. Some of our shows coming up are gonna be strictly NFL topic related and less Carolina Panther related. We're always gonna have a tidbit in there somewhere with the Panthers. As y'all know, just that's the best team in the NFL to us. So
Exactly.
but you know, you know, uh, who knows what head coach candidate lands in where. But
And how that
where
could
where
impact.
does Ejiro Rivero land? Does he go to become a head coach? Yeah, but go ahead, Deeze.
I guess I'm on that topic. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Browns do after
Hmm.
firing Stefanski, like what direction they go.
Right,
Um, I would expect a strong defensive coach to be hired in Cleveland, considering what they've got going on the defensive side of the football. And then the Ravens, that's an interesting one to me too. I could even see them maybe going with more of an offensive minded head coach, to somebody to really open up the playbook and give more options
right.
to Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. I could see that also as well. Harbaugh being with the Giants and Jackson Dart being in his second year after a successful rookie campaign, and me and Pickle try to tell you guys that Jackson Dart was going to be good in the NFL, and then here we are. We
Right.
exaggerated and said something about him getting drafted in the top 10. Of course, that didn't happen. We were just kind of joking about some of that stuff, but how it come down the pipe and how it ended up playing out was pretty much what me and Panther Pickle thought. And I'm also curious about what happens to Brian Dayball. I would like to see where he lands this year, and and
Hmm.
it probably won't be head coach after what he went through. But I do look forward to seeing where he goes as far as the NFL landscape. Pickle to that
Yeah,
to your point.
I'm interested in seeing where Mike McDaniels goes.
Me
I
too.
don't think he's going to be a head coach. I think he's going to land up as an offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
Does he land up as the offensive coordinator of the Lions? Hard to say.
That's a good spot for him.
And now that you bring that up, Raheem Morris, if Avera was to get a head coaching job, let's say he goes to the Raiders. Let's say they
Hmm.
surprise us. The Raiders go with Avera. And it would be a shock. It would be a shock to, I think, a
It
lot of
would
the
be.
NFL. But they still gave him an interview. That means they're somewhat interested. They're at least to
Hmm.
want to talk to the man. So, say
Right.
he did go there, I'd be very interested. I would love to have Raheem Morris as a replacement. It keeps that same Rams connection. Maybe you keep a guy like Jonathan Cooley because of the Rams connection with Raheem Morris. Just saying, it wouldn't be a bad idea to me. Plus, we know all the ins and outs of what Atlanta has going on with their roster. Maybe not their playbook, because of course it's changing, but we would know a lot of ins and outs with the Falcons, and we see that type of moves made in the NFC South. Look where we got Dave Cowles from. We got him from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if Vero was to get hired, I have to celebrate those third round draft picks. I'd be happy about that, first of all. Then, second of all, the opportunity to bring in a guy like Raheem Morris with inside baseball knowledge about the Falcons organization and their inner workings. That would be fantastic for this franchise going forward. I would
Hmm.
be happy about something like that, Pickle.
Absolutely.
All right, my guys. Anything else I want to cover before we get up out of here? I'll give us a plug, and then I'll let Diesel Skills take us out.
We do have something special brewing up. You'll find more info later.
Hmm.
It's very special. Keep your eyeball open.
All right. Check us out Monday. Deal with it. Thursday, Cold Show. Friday, Brotherhood episode. Diesel Skills, you work on so many other things, and I appreciate you very much. Anything you want to say, and then hit our music, my friend.
Yes, sir. Just hit the shorts tab. We do put out shorts throughout the week. We put out videos as well. Make sure you check those out. We got Blue&Black beats that dropped last night. It's not podcasting. It's a music video about the Panthers. It's just something different to watch and fill your time with. Go enjoy it. It's blues music, and it's the blues and black attack, right?
That's
Anyway,
it.
it's
Something different.
just to
Give it
have
a
some fun,
chance.
just to have some
Yes.
fun with your fandom, and
That's a
most
fact.
people, I don't expect you to listen to the whole 7 minute blues song, but you might want to tune into it and rock out with me just for a minute or two.
Just
Let me
relax
know.
to
Right.
it.
Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like, and I can make adjustments moving forward down the road. Brotherhood edition coming out soon. The video is already loaded in the chamber. Keep watch out for it this weekend as we head into NFL playoff football. The season ain't over. Y'all are always welcome to talk NFL playoffs here at the Blue and Black Attack, especially on the Cole Show, or deal with it on Mondays at 7 p.m. Hit the man's music.
Hit our music, Pickle.
And we will be having a show before Saturday to talk about the NFL playoffs.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother.
This is the Cole Show coming to you weekly. Black and blue attack on the blitz real quickly. Carolina Panthers since 1995. Keep pounding till the day that we die. Protect the bank, this is our Queen City. Tell the haters ice up the setting, 9 teams 50. JC Horn locking up, that's our seatbelt. Derrick Brown no come down, that's how we felt. NFC South is always the villains. How you gonna stop Bryce to McMillan? The future is now this our division. Carolina Panthers get ready for collisions.